It's Michelle from the Canadian Military Family Magazine. Happy Friday, everybody. I have someone to introduce that is very special to me. Her name is Dita. She wasn't born with that name. Her birth name is Lauren, and she's my daughter. Welcome, Lauren.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, Lauren, can you give us a little... I know everything about you, but our champions in the community don't know anything about you. So maybe you can give a little background of what it was like growing up in a military family.
Growing up in a military family, it was interesting, to say the least.
Good words.
It was, just having my dad gone all the time, and all of that was probably something that I was used to, and I still am, used to people being gone for long periods of time because I grew up that way. But I think it has taught me to be extremely independent. So I find that that is like a really good quality to have, because then I'm never, I never struggle to, be on my own, which is something that's really good. But I think that raised me to be strong, and I think everything, growing up in the military aspect, it, was actually a good thing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess, too, one of the biggest misconceptions with military kids like yourself and other people around, because everybody knows in our life, in my personal family, my husband and Lauren's dad has PTSD, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. There is good things that come out of it, and fortunately I think you're one of them. Pretty cute. But anyway, now we're putting Lauren to the side, and we're going to talk to Dita. Now, Dita, tell me where you work, tell me what you do.
So I started working at Camp Maple Leaf last summer, and I was a integration specialist. So I worked one-on-one with campers who may have had more needs than other campers, and I also worked as a regular counselor as well. But so I went around with the kids. I did the activities with them: canoeing, archery, rock climbing, all of those things. And I also helped the campers. They could talk to me. It was just basically just there for them for the week, have as much fun as possible, and give them the best week of their life in the summer.
Right.
And then so for this summer, I actually got hired on as head staff, and I'm going to be a camp coordinator. So I'm going to be in charge of half the campers and half of the staff for the whole summer. So I'm really excited for that.
And can you tell us a little bit more about Camp Maple Leaf? Like, what is their programming for the summer?
So it is sessions 1, 2, 4, and 5 are for military kids. It literally, like, any military kid can come.
And veteran.
And correct. Veteran. So retired, veteran, or serving can still come.
Reservist as well, Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if your mom and dad have ever been deployed, you can come. If your parents have ever been in the military or in the military, you're welcome to come.
So the only prerequisite is that one of the parents has a military ID of some sort.
Yes.
Either military or veteran ID.
Yes.
That's good, because I know that there's a lot of misconceptions that, well, my husband or my wife wasn't deployed this year, so I can't go. Or, we're in Ottawa, so, we never, they're very Ottawa-based, so we can't go. There's all these different things. And the other big one, and I'm sure you could talk about this, because you and I spoke about it last year, because you have 2 brothers.
Yeah.
So whenever I told you, I'm just like, I feel horrible, but there's no way I could have afforded to, whenever you guys were younger, and so your dad was like corporal, master corporal, even sergeant, whenever you have 3 kids, okay, so like I didn't think, okay, I'm going to pick a straw of which one you can go to camp, and the other 2, sorry, sucks to suck. I didn't realize, though, that it really doesn't work like that. And can you talk about the programming and the funding options that Camp Maple Leaf have separate from the Support Our Troops?
So the biggest thing for funding is that the camp director and that April, she can't stress enough that she wants to be able to send the kids to camp. So regardless of the Support Our Troop funding or anything like that, the biggest thing for funding is to talk to April directly, because she is determined to get every kid in the military, that has parents in the military, to camp.
Right.
So it's no matter what you can pay, she's getting your kid to camp.
Right.
So
or multiple kids.
Yes, or multiple kids
right.
to camp, because she grew up at camp. Her entire life is camp, so she wants every kid to be able to experience it.
Right.
And that's the most important thing, because even though I only went to camp once as a kid, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm working at a camp in the summers, and I wouldn't change it for the world. For me, working there has been the best experience of my life. So I can only imagine what it is for these campers that come, and when they're there, they're like, when I'm older, I'm going to become a camp counselor here, because they love it.
Right.
So that's one of the most important things is at the end of the week, when these kids are I don't want to leave, we're okay, we've done our job.
Right.
And that's and I want kids to go to camp, and April really wants all the kids to go to camp.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has really, I think, if we break it down and take a step back, it's not specifically, I don't want people to think, oh, they're going to be, treating us like a pity party or anything like that. I think now that I've spoken to April and Kim at Camp Maple Leaf, it is nothing about, oh, you poor families. Oh, it's not like that. It's more... It kudos to military families, period. Mm-hmm. Your kid should go to camp.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah.
There's none of that feeling. But that's really what their goal is.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps, and because that's all they want to do. And now I know as a mom, if I could have had that opportunity, I think it would have been really great for you guys, because Dad was away a lot, and it would have been an opportunity. That's okay. You're working at one now. Can you talk a little bit about your new Kids of Heroes?
Yes. So week 3 is the Kids of Heroes week. So it is a week for kids to come who have parents with an OSI. So it's still going to be a regular week at camp. So the kids are there to just have fun, but there is going to be kid-friendly support for kids if they want to use it, because parents with an OSI, it is hard. I have a parent that does have an OSI, but we want the kids to be able to, they all come together, all these kids, and they all have something that they can relate with, right? Mm-hmm. And even though every situation is different, and every single experience is different, at least these kids can come and they can experience camp together, and they can make those bonds. I'm not alone,
right? Because
sometimes it can feel like you are alone in this, and your family's going through something huge, and you can feel like no one understands. And we want these kids to know that we might not be able to fully understand, but we get it, kind of thing, right? We get it, that it can be tough, and we want to be there for you.
And I think too, it also brings to play that it's something that my personal team with our team at the magazine, with all the contributors and everything, it's something that we focus on, is that we're all part of a family.
Yeah, exactly.
And in this day and age, the family are dispersed. Mm-hmm. But really, whenever you get us together, it's that family, that family of support, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
And especially at this camp.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, it's not going to be a therapy camp.
No.
You're going to be swimming and making bracelets and everything else.
Shooting,
singing,
archery and arts and crafts and rock climbing and low ropes and fishing, everything.
A lot to do with paint I saw last year.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
different colors
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, very colorful, very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is very great. What I'm going to do at the end, once I have this video up, is I'm going to put the contact information for Camp Maple Leaf that Lauren works at. I'm also going to give you the link to the Support Our Troops page, because it has all the camps across Canada that have some support for military families. And I would suggest to call the camp directly and then see what they're, because it's just good to have, the plans started and then move on with the Support Our Troops for funding and all that type of thing. But I'd really like to thank Lauren for coming to her room, or her old room in our house. It's now my office, but her bed's still here just in case. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. But right at the last day of March break here in Ontario, get on the website and register your kids. Woo-woo! Woo-woo! Have a great weekend, friends.
Bye.